Hi everybody and welcome to this video on Natal Sun in Capricorn. So what exactly does it mean to have your lovely solar energy in the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn? Now the symbols for Capricorn are the mountain goat or the kneecap, the sea goat and the unicorn. The key word for your natal sun in Capricorn is I discipline so I can achieve, I calculate so I can preserve. Day of the week is Saturday. The ruling planet is Saturn. The esoteric ruler is Lilith. That Lilith can really take you down into some dark recesses. But this goes for the 11 zodiac signs. I mean, the way that I see a natal chart, as I keep on saying in my video, and this is because it's the truth that I has found, is that it's first learning what your natal planetary energies are, then getting over, any adverse aspects. Then it's all about learning how to get the energies of your natal chart working together. So if you want to, you can transcend them. But before you transcend, get over, manage your personality, you have to experience it. Like we have to learn from our lessons. So don't fear when you have any adverse aspects in your chart. Rather think about how you can work with them. So yes, now the vibration of Capricorn is practical effort, substance over the elusive ether and fashions that come and go. Your motto is hard work but not hard play. When you have the sun or intense Capricorn energy in your natal chart, the overall soul or higher self lesson of Capricorn Sun is mastering the material realm, training yourself to overcome your material desires by achieving them, by achieving your goals, only to see through the illusion of worldly success and attainment. Then, after setting yourself free from your ego traps, you gain the knowledge to help others free themselves from their personal chains. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign, so you like to lead naturally and you kind of lean into life. You find the rules, whatever it is in your nation, in your community, country, family, and then you stick to it. But you're always pushing for new experiences to gain, to push yourself forwards, to achieve in life. And for this, cardinal energy gives you a strong will for putting things into motions and going for whatever it is you want in life. Capricorn stroke Saturn rules the 10th house in astrology. So the positive keywords of Capricorn Sun in your natal chart are it can make you considerate, warm-hearted, diplomatic, self-reliant, efficiently compassionate. So, you are compassionate, but in a practical, efficient way, telling people, what to do or understanding to a certain extent. You're family orientated, you're cool and calculated, can be good at planning and the long term gains. Reliable, determined, careful, discreet. You've got that unique, dry sense of humour. You can be patient, self-disciplined, productive and down to earth and a natural leader. The negatives of Capricorn energy are your dark moods, overly practical, excessive rationality, too much delayed gratification leading to emotional stunting, worrying, self-pitying leading to depression, inflexible, overly demanding, pessimistic, miserly, forever planning for the rainy day, can be a bit of a wet blanket at times if you get stuck in your old routine, don't want to, move forward. That's when you're in depressed states. You can be overly traditional, stuffy. You can enjoy too much sensual material pleasure. You can be overly sensitive and tyrannical, kind of dictatorish. Capricorn rules the joints, the knees, the muscles, the bones, and the teeth. Just like there are two types of goats, in general, there are two types of Capricorn. Some of them are even unicorns, but hey, as I was saying, the sole lessons of Capricorn is to balance material ambitions with emotional spiritual objectives. So back to the two types of Capricorn. You either are the sharp go-getter, mountain goat, forever moving from one green pasture to the next, or you're the domestic billy goat type, downtrodden, forever eating on the same grass, never moving too far in terms of worldly ambitions or location. And then you have the third goal, the elusive unicorn. The Capricornians learn to balance their need to progress materially with their need to grow emotionally. Um, this can be a rare occurrence, hence the name unicorn goat. Continue watching this video and I'll give you tips on how to become a unicorn goat if this is your intention. Okay, so the positives of natal Capricorn Sun. You are a cardinal earth sign, so the practical accumulation of material wealth is your forte. Not saying you are all going to be rich, but much like a Taurus sun, you gain stability by material gains. Your self-worth initially comes from the tangible. You can be efficient, patient, a good organizer, have integrity, perseverance, resilience. You are at your peak and happiest when working towards a goal. You can be very loyal to your friends and those you care about. However, there is an emotional reservedness in you, which I'll go deeper into later on in the video in about 2 minutes or so. The influence of your ruler Saturn makes you diligent and you like to plan and look into a subject/situation in great detail before going ahead. At times you can be slow. You often win the race because you know life is a marathon, not a sprint, and you are very, very good at the long game. Although you are reserved, you like to take charge, especially in the arenas of politics, business, and even acting. Your attention to detail means you can play the fame game and the game of life itself very well. You are good to call in the crisis as you focus on getting the job done or getting over the crisis. Surprisingly, you can be good at dealing with grief and helping others with their pain despite your emotional reservedness. You gain vitality via hard work, so it is best practice that when you have your natal sun in Capricorn or abundance of Capricorn energy in your natal chart, that you do not go into excessive periods of unemployment, as this will lead to a block in your vitality, in your life force giving powers sort of thing. When you are in tune with the positive elements of Capricorn energy, you have a strong self-discipline. You don't like to waste time. Out of all of the zodiac signs, you often only talk when needs be, so you can be a person of few words. You are more of a listener and have a dry sense of humour in general. You pick yourself back up when you fall, and because of this, you often get on well in the material realms of life and find material stability. On the negative end of the scale, when you have your sun in Capricorn, it can make you a loner, especially internally, as you're at odds with your emotions. Your love of tradition and status quo can lead you to be overly money-minded, and you can be seen as someone who either is the Joneses or trying to keep up with them. Your tendency to be afraid to go against the system can leave you to missing many opportunities to evolve on all levels, mind, body and soul. You can be stubborn, intolerant, suspicious and vengeful at your lowest expression. You can also have an inferiority complex which causes you to worry about achieving material security excessively. Your biggest fear is not being able to provide for yourself and those you care about. But be wary that excessive stress and depression can cause you joint problems such as arthritis, back pain and stuff like that. Sometimes you can be too domineering, especially in your romantic relationship. You have to learn to understand your own feelings so you can understand other people's feelings and perspectives. You tend to get better with age, like a nice whiskey, as you outgrow your tendency to be excessively rigid and goal orientated. Sometimes when you have your natal sun in Capricorn, you can be seen as cold by others as you build a high wall around your emotions, becoming touchy and sometimes aggressive if someone picks an emotional source. But you are very sensitive at your core and this scares you the most. As in all other areas, you are stoic and logical, but you find it hard to control your emotions when you let them out. So you lock your emotions away because of this. Romantic relationships can be hard for you. You have a big fear of being hurt or rejected, and being rejected for your inner emotions, because it can be quite, passionate inside of a Capricorn psyche, You are very devoted in your long term relationships and avoid short flings in general. You are very amorous and love sensual pleasure. You're just picky about who you say your affections with, kind of like Venus in Virgo or Capricorn. You do better in equal partnerships, and you need a proactive partner, as you don't like people who waste time or who you perceive as lazy. Power coupling is you at your best. Capricorns should aim for kind of like a power couple where you're working towards a goal, a common goal, and independent goals, but the relationship goals and so forth. So you need a partner you can respect as well as cherish, who allows you to be independent and take charge, but you don't like to be in charge all the time. You may give this impression, but it's not true. You want your partner to step up from time to time. Capricorn sons like to build an empire, no matter how big or small it is. So they desire a partner who can step up to the challenge and cut the mustard, so to speak. Many of you may settle down later on in life, as in your youth and early adulthood, you are materially focused, as your number one priority during these times is advancing your personal gains. However, under the surface, you don't like being alone, but because of your poor emotional expression, you can end up this way. However, when you are in a safe romantic relationship, you can be very demonstrative of your emotions behind closed doors, of course. As you know, Saturn energy doesn't like wild displays of affections after all, and at times you can suffer from emotional shyness, which others interpret as not caring and coldness. Sometimes you just don't communicate and express yourself enough, and this can be your downfall, your self undoing. When you are in domestic goat mode, giving into the feelings of depression, scared of competition, the best way forward when you're like this is to find the area of your life or career that you can shine in. It may not be as grand as you want, as for some of you, there'll be times when you have to do mundane jobs you don't want to do to work your way up to where you want to be. Don't compare yourself with others, as this causes you great stress, and then you just kind of get more and more into depressed, stress, anxious states. Instead, make a plan and have patience with everything and everyone, especially yourself. Give your Give yourself time to get there, to achieve your goals. Be wise, don't complete, simply do you, because in essence you're a creature of habit. So find a steady routine and stick to it. Find satisfaction in the small things until you're in the position to achieve the big things, as after all you like security and need to know your material needs will be met. For this reason, you tend to avoid get quick rich schemes. Some of you also, when you have your natal sun in Capricorn, may have musical abilities. Some of you like to read, sometimes a bit too much, because you like to plan and have the details. Some of you may enjoy rock climbing because, it's a gold thing to do, being outdoors. Even if you don't play an instrument, you'll love to listen to music, and you may be involved in politics in your spare time. Now, the evolution of the Capricorn sun, how do you evolve your Capricorn energy? Well, the first step is coming to terms with your past emotional wounds and any rejection you felt in your early years. This can be hard for you to do, because emotions are not easy for you to work through. They're not logical. They kind of come out of nowhere sometimes, even confusing you. But it can be done. You can get over your past emotional wounds. You do have the inner, resources, the resilience, the integrity, the willpower to do so. You just have to place trust in the fact that they are friendly people in the world. Some people will understand you, and you're not as dissimilar to others as you think. You don't be afraid of your randomness in your personality, your quirkiness, your emotions, because we're human beings, we're all emotional in our own ways. I know that you may have been hurt in the past, but there is someone out there for you, and your natural sense of discernment will ensure you pick the right person for you. In the unconscious state, your Capricorn energy can become overly concerned with the things that you see with your two eyes only, shutting down the emotional and spiritual side of your personality. As you learn to work with your emotions, generally, this occurs when your attempt at gaining inner security by material possessions fail. Not because you cannot achieve worldly success as you can and often do, but because you come to realize that, material gains are fleeting senses of happiness only. So you start wanting to seek real happiness, real, security, which comes from a self acceptance and accepting all aspects of yourself. So, when you start to work with your emotions, seeking higher meanings in life, and your focus is reorientated towards emotional wholeness, this leads you to discover a spiritual or or philosophical outlook in life, because not everyone will be geared towards the spiritual. You may go into deeper intellectual reasoning, depending on other aspects in your chart. But in general, you become less about the I and more about the we, training yourself to think about what you can do to enrich the lives of others. Um, as Capricorn is a no nonsense zodiac sign, this can take decades, if not lifetime, to achieve that kind of we focus rather than the I and achieving material success. But as with any of the other zodiac signs, we only grow into our fullest potentials if we are prepared to learn new things and try new ways of doing things. When a Capricorn sun or someone with intense Capricorn energy in their chart does the work of healing their wounds, learning to trust in the intangible things, i.e., the spiritual, emotional side of life, as much as you do in the tangible things, the material things, the things we can see with our two eyes. The elusive unicorn Capricorn emerges, one who is in tune with their inner creativity as well as their material senses, coming into the knowledge that material gains within themselves are not a good or bad thing. They're neutral. It is what you do with your material gains, with your resources, what counts. You then leave behind your intense thoughts and behaviours of traditions, welcoming the new. You'll go past your old ways, in the word, which was using the material for the betterment of yourself. Your new way will be using material power and success for the upliftment of humanity, going from how can I use you to how can I serve you. At your highest potential, you reach the mountaintop of your spiritual or intellectual transcendent heights through working, often with blood, sweat, and often hidden tears, to gain the worldly success, the clothes, the cars, the fame, the house, the rise and the falls. The falls, though, will lead you to practical, spiritual, intellectual, moral, or philosophical heights. Then your task is to rearrange yourself to see through the veils of life in matter. At your highest ebb, your natal Capricorn sun is capable of giving excellent service to the upliftment of humanity, seeing through the darkness of unethical cardinal enterprise. Your ego and personal ambitions reveals the light.